What's up, everybody? Tindo here, and it's time to go thrift shopping, because that's what we do. We go to the thrift shop, and we buy video games, and then we bring them home and we look at them. I've had a really great couple of days at the thrift shop. Yesterday, I found a PlayStation 4 controller for $10, and it worked perfectly. And then today, I found something I'm going to say is even better. I think it's better. Watch this episode, watch me go to the thrift shops, and then maybe comment below and let me know if you think what I found today was better than yesterday. I think it was. But guys, check this out. The first stop of the day is a staple on my channel. It is the Goodwill bins, and it's in this giant warehouse. And if you're not familiar, if you haven't been frequenting my channel, the Goodwill bins is a Goodwill where all the leftover stuff at other Goodwills is shipped to one place, and then they put it all in these giant bins, and you can dig through it and pay for it by weight. And the video editor in me wanted to put this portion of the day last and make it look like the day ended with a very happy ending, but I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I walked right in this building and almost right away walked into what ended up being the best find of the day. And what was the best find of the day? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it was a GameCube. And I was very excited to see this, and I was very excited to see that dongle on the front. That dongle is a wireless receiver for an aftermarket GameCube controller. And there was also a game inside of the GameCube, which is another extra bonus. But these receivers are really hard to find. Now, the controller that these receivers go to are pretty much trash and unusable, but I am a controller collector. It's one of my favorite things to collect. So I see these controllers often in the thrift store, but never have the receivers. So finally, now I've got one. I can test it next to my Wavebird and show it off in my collection. But I didn't end up finding the controller yet. I actually do find it here in just a second, but we'll get back to that because me and my buddy found this Xbox 360, and we tried to pry it open and see if there was a game in it, but we didn't have a paperclip size tool to pry it open properly. So we gave up and then turned our attention to this Apple computer. And just a couple episodes ago, I brought home a much older Apple computer than this one. And I'm not going to lie to you, I thought about taking this one home. Most of it was there, but that's actually the motherboard for it over there that woman just grabbed. And it's all in pieces. I don't need a project computer, and honestly, I don't have the space for more computers. Maybe one of these days when we have more space to make this show in, I will buy more stuff like this and play with it and make videos out of it. But it's nice seeing this stuff at the thrift store. I know I've got a few viewers that like to see that kind of thing. And then, right after we were done playing with that Apple, I actually found the controller that goes with that receiver. It is missing its back, but that's not a worry. I'm just glad to find it. I did end up turning this whole table over just to make sure there were no other GameCube peripherals inside of it, and to the best of my knowledge, there were not. Sometimes you think you've put your eyeballs on every single item inside of one of these bins, and then you come back later and you find something that you didn't see the first time through. It's really just sensory overload to look through these bins sometimes. I mean, just look at all this random stuff. Is that a wreath? Is that just part of a Christmas tree? What is it? There's just no telling. But after the bins, we moved on to a Goodwill that I have not been to in forever. I have been to this Goodwill plenty of times, but I actually haven't been to it since we started this channel. So you guys are about to put your eyes on some brand new Goodwill goodness. And right inside the door, I stood here for several moments waiting for these gentlemen to finish loading in this vending machine. Kind of thought that was funny, but eventually I realized there was a second door. So I went on around, and we're going to go straight for the video games. I always get super giddy when I go to a Goodwill that I've either never been to or haven't been to in a long time, because you just never know how the games are going to be. Sometimes you walk into a whole shelf full of video games. Sometimes you walk into just one whole roll of awesome video games. And sometimes you walk into a Goodwill where there's a bunch of video games, but they're mixed in with everything else, and you've got to dig for them. But today we just have one shelf full of video games, which I'm not going to complain about, because when all the video games are put away in one place, that helps me out a lot. So I dug through these pretty heavily because I was really unsure on a lot of them, whether or not I had them. I keep a spreadsheet where I keep track of everything that I've got. There are apps that you can do that with, and every time I mention the spreadsheet, I get suggestions from new apps, and I have tried so many of them, but I just honestly prefer my spreadsheet. I prefer having that complete control over my checklist and the information I want to keep track of. And I do leave a link below all of my videos to that spreadsheet if you want to check it out. But to be honest with you, I brought shame to my dojo today by not looking at my spreadsheet and checking whether or not I had some of these games. And so I brought home a bunch of games, to be honest, that I wasn't sure whether or not I already had. and I dodged a bullet because I didn't have any of them. But now wait, I think I have a valid excuse for not checking my spreadsheet. My phone, when I got to this Goodwill, was on 2%, and I still had to film all this. So I did not check my spreadsheet. I didn't do anything that I didn't have to do with my phone so that it wouldn't die, because I do film the inside of these Goodwills with my iPhone. Sometimes it's my GoPro. Sometimes if you notice the quality of the footage varying in between episodes, or sometimes even in the same episode, I usually keep my GoPro in my pocket. But listen, double shame to the Tin Dojo. I did not charge my GoPro today. I don't know what's wrong with me. I guess I'm just tired. I don't know what it is. But I did find a Nintendo light gun, and I think that makes up for everything, because I didn't already have a light gun. Now I do. Now I can play Duck Hunt. So all is well with the world. There were a lot of other random aftermarket peripherals here, as well as an Atari joystick, but I've already got so many of those I don't know what to do with them. And there was a Xbox 360 second one of the day, but I've got plenty of those. We're not in the market for that. This place is always interesting because they just pile all their stuff up and you got to dig through it, which I don't mind so much. But I didn't find much else here today that I just absolutely had to have. Usually it's me dragging people with me to the thrift stores, but today was a little different. Your boy Pat and his mom were on a mission to find him a bed frame. So we went to the Goodwill to look for one, and we didn't actually end up buying one there because all the ones they had were new. So we were just going to go to a store and actually look for new bed frames with a little bit more variety than these had. These were just a simple, cheap bed frame. But it's awesome to go thrifting with friends and family. I love it when anyone wants to go thrifting. And, they said to me today, Dallas, we're going to go to some thrift stores. Would you like to go? And, of course, I responded, does a horse chew tobacco? Of course I want to go. To which they were confused. And, that went how it went. But we ended up going to some thrift stores together, which was fun. And I checked all the toys real quick before I left this thrift store, and I didn't end up coming across anything. So let's move on to the next thrift store. On our way to the next thrift store, I spotted a Fortnite Lynx on the corner, waiting for the traffic signal to turn. I thought that was a strange choice because it's like 110 degrees here in Phoenix right now, but I guess he's into it, so I'm not mad about it. But the next Goodwill is one closer to home. We stopped at this one on the way back home, and I went straight for the lock boxes. And last time I was at this Goodwill, this lock box was full of video games, and I bought several. But it looks like most of those are gone now, just a couple nothing games left, and a stack of Blu-ray. This Goodwill was pretty packed today, a little bit more than is usual on a Sunday. Sunday is not a bad day to go thrifting here. It's usually a pretty mellow day, but I kind of had to keep my elbows tight on this one because there were a lot of people in here. And I was excited to see this Wii Star Wars game. I don't have a copy of it yet, but not only was it the wrong case, the case was broken, the disc was in rough shape, and no manual, so we're going to pass that one up. And this is a Goodwill that has kind of stopped organizing their games into one place. The last couple times that I've been here, I've had to make sure to look at everything because the games are scattered all over the DVD section. So I'm going to take a real hard look at these and hopefully leave with something good. But you just never know when they're scattered around like this. I mean, I kind of have a love-hate relationship with it because I really do feel like no one's out here looking as hard as I do. Like, I look hard. I will go through these DVDs 10 times sometimes just to make sure because I want to go home with the good stuff. But I'm not finding much yet. Really just, copies of Wii Fit, about 100 of them. Guitar Hero, that's a pretty normal thing. And then I can't tell you how many workout DVDs were here today. Kind of strange. But a copy of Ghost Recon, which I am happy to find. That is all there and in good shape. I'm not mad about it at all. This Goodwill is really close to my home, so I can't tell you how much stuff I've bought here over the last couple of years. I feel like maybe I've actually spent the most money at this Goodwill over all of them. I'm just very used to being here. I'm very used to where the workers usually put things, and it just feels kind of natural to walk through it and find what I'm looking for. I know where the video game stuff's supposed to be. I know where the computer stuff's supposed to be, so I don't have a hard time here at all. I've got a couple games in my hand, and I'm more than content to leave with just those, but let's check the toys real quick before we go. It's a pretty big mess here right now, so I'm not going to spend too much time digging in the toys. I'm not as crazy about the toys as I am the video games, but I do like finding toys for my collections that I do collect. Mario, I collect a little 90s X-Men. I usually just do enough to make sure that I don't miss anything like that. But all I really saw today was a single lone Pokemon card, and for some reason this Polaroid camera was tucked in over the toys section. Sometimes when those are the right price, I buy them and trade them in at a local store that gives like $10 or $15 store credit for them, but that was marked too high for that, so I'm not finding anything else here today, so let's go ahead and head back to the game room. Alright guys, we are back in the game room, so let's go right ahead and jump into what I found today. I'm really excited about this. The thing I'm most excited about is Shawn Johnson Gymnastics for the Wii. Doesn't this look great? Listen, I mentioned this almost every episode, but we've got a series here on the channel where we play bad video games. Here we go. Woo!
You go again. How in the world did that go in?
Perfect your routine and score high marks to earn a place on the podium and in the hearts of your fans. Comment below if you think we should play this one. Try it out. It's the most generic looking game for the Wii. I like collecting as much as I like playing video games. Collecting is such a fun thing because you get to find random things like this, and there are so many random titles like this for the Wii that just look great. Next, I got not one, not two, but 3 PlayStation 1 games. All sports titles, of course. Madden 98, NBA Live 2000, and NHL 99. And yeah, I like finding PlayStation 1 games at the thrift. Not very often that they're anything but sports titles. Sometimes they are. I found that RPG Maker game not too long ago at the thrift for like $1. That was pretty cool. And then next I got Ghost Recon for the original Xbox. And this is pretty awesome because I think it was yesterday's episode. It might have been the one before. I got the second one of these, and I didn't already have the first one. So I've got them both now. Awesome. And then a Platinum Hits edition of Tony Hawk Underground. I already had the regular one, so I bought the Platinum Hits one today. Awesome. And then next, IHRA Motorsports Drag Racing 2004. I'm not really sure what IHRA is, if it's just a brand, a racing brand, and they produce games and other things, but I've got a couple other different types of racing games that are branded with IHRA. Interesting. Next, very happy about this one, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. You put your name in the Goblet of Fire. I've never played a Harry Potter video game, I think. If I have, I don't remember off the top of my head. Comment below if you think any of the Harry Potter video games are good and I should play them, because I'm definitely keeping an eye out for all of them. Yeah, and I've got several of them now. Definitely not all of them, because there's a lot. And then Madagascar Escape to Africa. I just picked up the first one of these not too long ago, so now I have both. It looks great. Adventure and laugh your way through 12 levels of action-packed fun. And then the last game that I got, and you're definitely going to have to comment below if you know anything about this, because this looks generic, but I don't know, it might be good. Dragon Blade, Wrath of Fire. Look at that cover. Look at it. Wow. I mean, it looks straight off of a Magic the Gathering card, doesn't it? Tell me that doesn't look like it's straight off a Magic the Gathering card. That's great. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's an RPG or what. Harness all the power of a dragon. Squiggly mark. Fight fire with fire. The power of the dragon is in your hands. A young warrior must rise up against the demons who have ravaged his world. Find the pieces of the dragon blade and learn to unleash the unbelievable fury of a dragon. And that's all you get. That is all the description you get. Hold on, we're opening the manual on this one. Okay, first off, an advertisement for Naruto. Not sure if that's a good sign or a bad sign. Not that there's anything with Naruto, but if you're taking up all the space on your manual to advertise another game, what does that mean? Black and white manual. There's not much more description in here. I want, like, listen, attention game manufacturers. If you're putting this on the title of your game and you're not giving me a lengthy description of the lore inside your game, I'm not playing, all right? I'm not playing it. Tell me about the dragons. Where's the, there's nothing. Customer support, limited warranty, where's the story? Tell me about the dragons. Okay, well, I don't know if we're going to play this one now. All right, that's all the video games. I almost forgot about this guy. I got a Toad. He was just $1, so I got him. I've got a growing collection of Nintendo-related plushies. So I'll put him on that shelf. I also scored a light gun, which is awesome because I only recently got my CRT, which you can just kind of see the bottom of over here. That's my very large CRT that was so heavy that it took 3 of us to get it in the house and up onto the stand. But I do have Duck Hunt, but I don't have a light gun, so now we can play Duck Hunt. OG Duck Hunt. Very happy about that. And for $5, can't really beat that, I think. Very happy to find that. And then last, and certainly not least, my biggest find of the day, probably my biggest find of the week, which is funny because I think the title card on yesterday's video was a bit clickbaity and like, find of the week. And it was my PS4 controller, but I think this is better. Bruh. I found a GameCube. And I only paid $4 for it because as you saw, the Goodwill that I found it at is a pay-by-weight Goodwill. So whatever you find, $1.39 per pound. And whatever this weighs is just right to cost $4. And inside, Super Monkey Ball 2. I don't know yet if I have the case for this. I've got an empty case for a Monkey Ball game. It might not have been the second one. It might have been the first one. But I'm always happy to find a GameCube. I'm always super happy to find any system with the game in there. Very happy about that. And then it had a wireless controller. I found it with the receiver on there first and then found the wireless controller. Now, I've got Wavebirds. I've got the GameCube Wavebirds. And those are awesome. And this feels awful compared to it. I mean, just listen to that. It feels as bad as it sounds. So I don't know how that's going to go, but I am happy to finally, once in my life, find both the receiver and the controller for a wireless GameCube controller. Because I see these. Matter of fact, a couple days ago in an episode, I think you can spot one of these, but a white one, on a shelf at a Goodwill. But of course, I don't ever buy them because I don't ever find the receiver. This one is missing its battery pack, but I see this so regularly, I'll just buy the next loose one of these I see. And if it's in better shape than this one, I'll toss it. Because the knob on this one is a little messed up. But I'm super happy about this. Now, I want to have one quick conversation about this before I go. And this is a bit of a different conversation than we usually have. My initial gut reaction is to go trade this in. I want to go trade this in at the game store. That's what I usually do with these things that are worth a little bit more. I like this calculator I have sitting here. I've been talking about how I need to put this on eBay, and I'd get more money. But there's a local store here that will actually give me like 30 or 40 bucks for this in trade-in credit towards video games. And same with this, 30, 40, 50 bucks trade-in credit if it's all there with a controller. But I've been thinking I could start doing some giveaways here on the channel. Now, I'm not a huge fan of channels that I come across sometimes that just do giveaway after giveaway and are really only using that as a ploy to get more subs, etc., etc. Now, don't get me wrong. I want more subs. I want to get to 1,000 subs. I want to grow this channel. I want to generate some revenue with this channel just to use to crank out more videos, you know. But, you know, I find it's kind of funny because this is valuable. There are plenty of people watching that would love to have a GameCube. And I am lucky enough that where I live is a special magical land in terms of thrifting. It really is a magical place here for thrifting because they're right back. Actually, I think they're off shot. They're on this top shelf. You might be able to see the bottom of them up there. But I have 3 GameCubes, one of each American release color. And I found them all at the thrift store for $4 or less. So these things are very easy for me to find. And I kind of feel like I really wouldn't mind giving some of this stuff away. You know, because it fits the channel. I find video games at the thrift, they're cheap. Maybe we should do some giveaways. And maybe I will use it to say, hey, you know, subscribe, follow me on Twitter. That'll enter you for a chance to win. But I definitely want to find a way to do it and stay above board and not act too needy for those subscribers. So, I don't know, comment below. Would you like to see some giveaways here on the channel? Would you like a chance to win an occasional GameCube, Wii, etc.? I don't know yet if I'm going to do it with this one, especially since it's a little hard to see. This one's a little dinged up. I might just trade this one in and get a few bucks out of it, and the next Wii or the next nice GameCube we come across, do a little giveaway. Comment below if you'd like to see that, and maybe we'll think about doing that in the future. But guys, that's everything that I bought today. I am very happy with this haul. I'm trying to decide what I'm most excited about finding. I mean, how can you be excited about anything else but this GameCube? I despite already having 3 GameCubes, I'm always excited to find another GameCube. But I'm pretty excited about this light gun. I haven't played actual light gun games since the 90s. Okay, don't point it. Well, I don't think there's lasers. Okay, and it's not plugged up, but I immediately had a visceral reaction when I pointed this gun at my eyeball. But anyways, I think this is my favorite thing I found today. I mean, or tied with the GameCube. You can't say that when you found a GameCube. And also, if you want to comment your least favorite thing, go ahead. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be like, why did you buy this? The thing I'm most curious about is this. Maybe not, what is this? But a better question might be, why is this?
I'll do you one better. Why is Gamora?
But that's it, guys. That's another Thrift Haul video. I'm very excited about this one. I'm very excited for the week I'm having. I've found some great stuff this week. Here's the hope of this next week is even better. And guys, you guys that subscribe and watch every single one of my Thrift Haul videos, you guys are the real champs. And you guys that watch all my videos and haven't subscribed yet, you're still champs, just not the real ones. You're like semi-champs. So subscribe and be real champs. And also, guys, I'm having a lot of fun doing this. We're going to start streaming really soon. We're just kind of waiting for our audience to grow a little bit. And when we stream, these things are perfect candidates. We're going to go live with this stuff that just... We're not even going to try it. We're just going to go live and play these random things that no one's ever heard of and see how they go. So go over to our Twitch and hit that follow button so that when we do that, when we go live with these goofy video games, you'll get a notification and you can come and hang out with us then. And also here on YouTube, guys, if you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button so that when we post videos like this on the YouTube channel, you can get a notification then and you can come hang out with us. You can go thrifting with us. You can play bad video games with us. And until then, guys, peace out.